After thousands of sales calls and millions of dollars closed, I've realized something very important. The difference between someone making an average income in sales and someone that's landing a $250,000 per year high ticket sales role comes down to just two things. They are not using crazy scripts, and more importantly, they're not wasting time. Now, for some context, in my first 2 years as a high ticket closer, I made over $500,000 in personal commissions. In my best month, I closed over $750,000 in revenue, and I've made over $65,000 in that month in commissions in my bank account. And none of that came from complicated tactics or trying to convince someone to buy, because most people are trying to break into high ticket sales and they're doing it completely wrong. They're spamming DMs, they're sending cold emails all day, copying what everyone else is trying to do and wondering why they aren't hiring them as a closer for a high-paying, great offer. But the reality is that people landing $250,000 per year high-ticket sales roles aren't doing more. They're doing things differently. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how to position yourself to land a high-ticket sales job even if you're starting from zero experience in the industry. We're gonna cover how to actually choose the right niche, how to find real business owners that are already selling high ticket offers, and then how to stand out to actually get interviews and offers for people starving to work with great closers like yourself. Because when I first got into sales, I struggled as well. I thought I needed better scripts, better lines, better ways to close clients. But what I really needed was a system. And once I understood that, everything changed. So if you want to break into the high ticket sales world and put yourself on a path to earning over $250,000 per year working from home on your own schedule, let's break it all down. So how do you actually land a $250,000 per year high ticket closer job? Well, that's a great question. We're going to dive into that. So what is high ticket sales? High ticket sales is something that you can earn around 10K plus monthly revenue, which doesn't require a degree, performance-based income, which means commission only. You work with creators and online businesses who are already selling products. Now, why most people fail in actually finding these fantastic positions is they spam hundreds of DMs, they copy and paste cold emails. There's no real niche focus. They're very spread wide. They're competing in saturated strategies that have already been around and already have their set closers in place. The new approach in 2026 is to actually look for relevance over volume, personalizing the messages and the templates to these high ticket business owners instead of just automating a very generic email. So you want to position yourself as value to these business owners and target the right creators to actually make $250,000 per year. Now, this is exactly what I did. So step one, you have to figure out your why. Why do you actually want to get into this industry? What is the lifestyle you are chasing? And what kind of offers do you actually want to sell on? So for me personally, I knew that I loved investing. So I was fine with anything in the investing realm, real estate, Airbnb, make money offers, biz op, anything in that space. Now, my goals were very simple. I wanted to spend a great amount of time with my daughter and still make a killer income. And that's exactly what I did. I worked around 15 to 17 days every month, and I would spend the other time with my daughter, being a present, doing activities, and it was fantastic. And so it's very important to find your why in this industry, because that's going to drive you through the busy days and actually getting onto this fantastic offer. Now, for me, it also took me 3 to 4 months to actually get onto the offer full time. I started on a part-time role as kind of the spare. And then once I proved myself, I started making around $20,000 every single month. Now, the way to actually find out the offers that you'll sell the best on, because it's super important, is to do a 3-circle Venn diagram. So you can grab a piece of paper and a pen and write in one circle what you enjoy, what you know in the other circle, and then the final circle, what makes money within those two other things. And this is crucial because when you're selling a product that you actually believe in, it's easy. You've probably already watched hundreds of hours of YouTube videos and online courses on that topic or niche. And now you're essentially telling the prospect a large portion of what you already know. And this is going to help you land those very, very good jobs because the owner is going to be able to tell, oh yeah, this person definitely knows a lot about the fitness industry. And I could tell he's gone to the gym for years and he's going to do great talking to the prospects because he looks jacked, shredded, and he's able to convey the messages of what's been the tough pieces to get through. But the next thing we have to talk about is actually brainstorming. So your interest, figure out if it's videography, cooking, fitness, finance, / stocks niche like it was for me, or the making money niche, and really dive into that. From there, you want to look at the niches that are up and coming. There are a ton of sales reps that I know personally that are making over $30,000 to $40,000 a month just working in the AI niche and the SaaS tech world niche, because it just makes a killing, especially right now. It's a huge push for AI. Obviously, there's lots of fears around it, but there's also lots of upside where people can make a lot of money. Content creation is another massive one. It's been around for a while, obviously, but it's really getting to the point where people know that it's not going to be forever. People know that's not going to last forever to just jump on and become a big YouTube creator. It's taking content creation to the next level. And then the creator economy and online education space, which is primarily what I sell. So you want to find the overlap between your interest, the niches that are popping and that are up and coming, and what you actually enjoy selling. Once you find those three and you pick 2 to 3 niches that you want to focus on getting a job offer and studying what's actually working. So step 2 is once you find the niche and you've narrowed it down, you want to find the creators within those niches that are already selling. And you want to do this by going to YouTube, finding your niche, recently uploads on Instagram as well. You don't want to go with people who are barely posting. You want to go with people who are popping off, who are putting a lot into marketing, because that's going to help out you make that $20,000 per month. You want to find also up and coming people who are between 5,000 to 100,000 subscribers. Now, the reason I say this is a lot of creators who are over that 100,000 threshold already have proven and basically just closers and setters who have been dialed in on their offer for years. You want to find creators who are up and coming and they're looking at building their team and that relationship with their sales guys and gals so then they can grow the offer with them. This is where you're going to see the largest ROI. A lot of people look to like the biggest creators and they're like, I want to work on that offer. But most times you're going to make a lot more on an up and coming offer because you're going to get a lot more of the upside. Okay. But we have to talk about what you're actually looking for. So the ideal criteria is you're looking for someone who's selling a course or a mentorship with a growing audience, but isn't too big. So when you DM them, they're still accessible and they need help closing those sales as the gap. Now, by the way, if this all sounds very confusing and you don't want to like go out there and find all the niches and the creators, that's what I do. Okay. So I connect the closers and the setters to the actual business owners. So if that's something where you want to skip the line, you want to get started within the next 30 days in the high ticket world and start crushing it 10,000 plus a month, then apply to join my mentorship down below in the first link in the description. And we do guarantee job placements within 30 days. So go ahead and do that and see if you apply to work with us. Well, let's continue here. Build your list of creators. So if you're not going to work with me and you just want to do this on your own, you want to build a list of 3 to 5 strong creators. You want to get their email, mostly their business email, Instagram, what's happening on their YouTube, if they have setters and closers, and study their content. Now, this is very important. They want to trust that you've looked into them. Now, the third step is very simple. Don't be a robot. There's so much AI garbage out there nowadays where it's like pre-written templates. You want to personalize the message, and that's why I kept it so simple here. Personalize the message to those business owners, and we're going to dive through a template on how to do that. So here's the outreach method. You want to DM with a specific compliment. Then you want to reference their content and a content that you might have liked. Mention that you applied to their program and found it very interesting. So another compliment there. And then highlight how there's a slow response time and maybe a longer calendar wait time on how you can help out solve an issue with the response or having quicker calendar availability. So that's exactly how I would do it every time. And that's why it's so important to personalize the message to them so then they can actually stand out. Also understand that with these newer creators, they're going to see those DMs a lot more. When it's a massive creator, they're going to have a team behind them where there's the setters, there's another layer of management, and then it's like their virtual assistant, and then it's them. So they're probably not even going to get the notification, which is why it's even more important to reach out to those small creators to get into the space. And then you want to position yourself. So create demand for yourself. Show you understand their business. You've seen their content. You've seen the funnels and the links. Point out missed revenue opportunities and how you can solve that. And then offer to improve conversion rates. This is the best way to actually identify and prove to a business owner to jump on a call with you to give you a shot. Now, the daily output to this is quite a lot. And that's why I tell people you can for sure do this on your own, but working with us will accelerate this progress to actually get you to the point where you're in the industry, making your first commission, which is what most people want. And so if you were doing this on your own, you're sending a lot of messages that are personalized, 10 to 20 per day. We don't want 100 plus spam because there's not that many good qualified business owners per niche that you're looking for. Okay. Personalization wins in this game. Make sure to personalize it, like I said in the slides above. If they don't respond, adjust your target. Maybe go to a smaller audience range, maybe go to a different creator, more accessible via email, and then a higher response rate to hopefully get you that good position in an up and coming offer. And then here's the fourth step. If you have their email and you have their DMs, this is the best way. It's the video advantage. So creating a 20 to 30 second Loom video. So there's no slides, no editing, no like fancy chopping, just you speaking. This builds so much trust by you sending them a video because they haven't done anything for you and you're personalizing that video. How we do this is we show communication skills. It feels really real and human. Simulates a sales call, how you're going to look with your background, how your audio sounds. And then there's typically higher response rates from what we've seen. Here's exactly what to say in that video. So when you're recording the Loom, you want to say who you are, what your background is, or learning. So I'm an up and coming high ticket closer. I've been certified with, at Closer Accelerator, Johnny's program, and why their niche is perfect for what you are trying to sell. Because when I got into the industry, I loved investing, especially in the stock market. And so that's what I was teaching, obviously. And it clicked like this. It was instant. And then why you'd be valuable to the company. So obviously proving higher metrics and close rates. If you don't have any experience, there's not necessarily a problem with this. How beginners win is they just study relentlessly. Free YouTube videos, mentorships, learning from other people, trying to connect with people in the industry. They've invested in programs and they have a deep understanding of that exact niche. When you get hired on an offer, most times they already expect you to be trained, which is why most people get connected through my mentorship because it's very tough to get these good offers without being trained. They don't want to train someone on an offer. They want you to come in pre-trained, understanding how to do the high ticket closing. Now they're going to teach you about their niche. You're going to take their courses and stuff. But it's a huge advantage to already understand the investing world, stocks, what's happening in the market. So you understand the lingo. And when you're talking to these prospects, they know that you're not just BSing them. So here's my final advice. So if you're serious about this, you have to be consistent daily, focus on quality, learn the niche very deeply, treat it like a real career from the start. Now, this stuff actually works. The only thing that makes it not work is if you aren't putting the effort into it. Now, of course, you can get the shortcut by me helping you scale quickly by connecting with these creators and business owners, getting interviews in front of them, and getting the sales training required to actually be successful in this industry. So if that's something you want, click the link down below and apply to join my mentorship so I can fast track you to 30 days to get you your first offer interview. But with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, click the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And also, here is a video that YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy. So make sure to watch that next.